If you're somebody like me who wants to make their 2026 completely different from their 2025, this video is for you. And what I mean by that is, for anybody who can relate to what I've been through in the past videos, if you've watched that, I can definitely say with confidence, 2025 was unfortunately the year I got fired multiple times, the year that I chased not only money, chased women, chased the wrong things, but honestly, it was the year that I wasted a lot of time. And if you're anybody who can relate to any of that, this video is for you. 2026 is my year. Not only did 2025 force me to wake up, it showed me the life that I would live if I don't lock in immediately and I don't do a complete 180 from what I've been used to doing. Welcome back, guys. It's your boy AZ, and I hope you've been doing good. It is now Tuesday, and we are back on the grind of getting on the channel, filling it with content, and getting you guys back to where you need to be and getting myself back to where we need to be. This video is not only going to be one where I explain to you guys my goals for 2026, but I really reflect and bring you guys on my journey of what I went through personally in 2025. Back in 2025, I was still working at my restaurant manager job. It was great. I was making good money, but at the same time, as you guys saw, that was when I started my content journey. A lot of my videos I started, if I'm correct, were on my 25th birthday. That's when I made my first video. So at the time, I was really ambitious. I was really, encouraged and really striving hard to put myself in a position and break into the content space. I've always known that I love talking, and as I've grown older, I've always had a more focused and straightforward mindset in the way that I talk, in the way that I do things. So it's allowed me to have certain types of conversations and have people gravitate towards the things that I say. And with me having a semi-good speaking ability, I knew that if I started to make content, I wouldn't at least be bothered by being able to speak on the camera because I like to talk. That's one of the best things about me, that I like to conversate with people. People get to know me and I get to understand them. But unfortunately, the thing that I know I did most while also working this job and also trying to create content and break into the content space was being too obsessed with how much money I could make. One thing that I know kills a lot of people, and one thing that still kills me to this day, but I'm working on, is being satisfied and or content where you currently are. A lot of us have good things going for us. A lot of us are in good positions, but at the same time, we want more. And that's not always a bad thing, but it can be a bad thing if you have something good going on and you're not working hard to nurture and take care of that. For example, if you're in a good relationship and you're the type of man or female who constantly has wandering eyes, you'll be looking at who the next hottest person is instead of appreciating and valuing the person who's in the relationship with you currently. Now, that was a little bit of an extreme example, but you get what I mean. So me in particular, as you guys have heard in my videos, I want to be very financially successful, and I want to be able to not only move out on my own, but also take care of the people that I care about, while also not worrying if I'm going to be able to take care of myself. That's my biggest goal. So I know I've always been money driven, not only because of how I've grown up personally, but also because of the goals that I have for myself. And not only did having that job at the time provide me with an income that was greater than anything else at the time, it also put me in a position where I had a big hubris, and I, to a certain extent, did need to be humbled, because at the time, I know I was also going to the gym. I was also improving on my trading and also trying to not only increase my skill set, but just put myself in a position where I could have multiple forms of income and also have more to say that I do as a man. So at the time, I was really self-motivated, and I was really in my self-improvement phase. I was obsessed with it. I loved it. And I was making sure to do anything and everything that was going to get me to where I wanted to be. I was going to the gym at least twice a day. And by twice a day, I mean I was working out at home and then also going to the gym either at work or after work. I mean, either before work or after work. So that's one thing I did. I was also understanding how me doing self-improvement and also improving in myself was also starting to separate me from not only the people that I grew up in, but also the people around me. And it allowed me to see the differences in people and how they, think and they operate. But unfortunately for me, the one thing that I never did was to be completely focused on myself. A lot of the time, even though I was going to the gym, I had a good job and I was trying to learn a new skill, as in trading in the content, I was more focused on what other people were doing at the same time while also trying to improve myself and also comparing myself to what other people were doing. There were times where I was locked in, but also times I was distracted because, let's say, I was doing good one day, then I would slip up, not do something the next day, while also at the same time judging the people around me because I wasn't thinking they were working as hard as I was or doing the things that I was, while at the same time doing the thing that most people do, which is complain about their life, complain about where they are, and not actually put in effort. So one thing I know I did in 2025 was have a big hubris and not completely focus on myself. I allowed myself to be, what's the term? I basically got a big head, to put it more simply. I got a big head and I thought I was better than everybody when in reality, it was just the beginning of me starting to put myself in the position that I wanted to be. So I really more needed to focus on myself, just continuing to build and stay disciplined in building what I've always wanted to build, which is myself up in the content creation space and also continuing to earn money at a good job. When I said earlier that I wasn't content, I meant in the sense that I was always looking for more, even though I had a good amount to build and create with. I was always trying to earn more money, even though I was earning more money than I've ever made before. And not only was I earning more money, but I was also spending more money, which makes sense because as most people earn more money, they also do tend to spend more. But I wasn't really increasing my lifestyle, so to say. I was more just buying a lot of toys, games, and bullshit that I've never been able to buy before. And now that I had more money, I was doing whatever I wanted. And on top of the fact that I was still living with my parents, I didn't have the burden of paying rent and paying certain utility bills. It was mostly me just taking care of my car bill, insurance, and whatever little bills that I had for myself. So that's technically still what I'm doing, but at the time, I wasn't really taking advantage of the fact that I was earning a high income and putting a lot of that to the side. Even though I was getting paid every other week, a little over 2,100, I was still to a certain extent living paycheck to paycheck, even though I was living with my parents. I remember I was spending money on mentorships, buying courses, and trying to do all these things on the internet to try and make more money, even though I should have just stopped and continued to build where I was. I remember I got mentors for trading. I remember I tried to get mentors for YouTube. I remember I tried to get mentors for personal branding. At one point, I know I tried to do affiliate marketing to try and make some money. But all these things, not only did they not work out, but they taught me that if I rush the process and I don't focus, I'm just going to continuously end up where I've always been, and that's trying to figure it out instead of just starting something and building from there. One thing I know I did very wrong in 2025 was constantly being distracted by shiny object syndrome. Every time I saw a new opportunity to try and make money, I didn't hesitate to jump on it instead of focusing on the opportunities I had already built in front of me and the opportunities that I know I wanted to do that would make me more money instead of trying to chase what was going to make me the most amount of money the fastest. And especially since most of these things that I was doing, they're skill sets that you need to build over time. So not only was I trying to focus on skill sets that I was interested in, I was also jumping into new skill sets while not building upon the skill sets that I already dived into, which perpetually kept me on the wheel of starting over and trying to start something instead of building upon what I already started. So when I talk about me chasing money and that's a mistake I did, that's what I mean. I was constantly trying to put myself in a position to make more money by doing something new without just saving the money from the good 9 to 5 that I had, while also focusing on the two skill sets that I had chosen to get better at, which is content creation and trading. Not only that, but this was a problem that I had for a very long time. I would say at least up until the earliest age of 15, which was my obsession with wanting to be in a relationship. I can't particularly say where it came from. I have a little bit of an idea, but when it came to me personally, I'm 26, I've never had a girlfriend, and I can say the way that I've always dealt with women has been I've always liked being a gentleman, and I've always tried to adopt, and I've always portrayed the gentleman mindset and behavior. But at the same time, it wasn't until I had a conversation with ChatGPT, believe it or not, and was really going into detail on my behavior and what I was doing that ChatGPT kind of said to me what I already knew, but just never said out loud to myself. And that I, in particular, with every single girl that I've ever liked, had a crush on, asked out, or even gone on dates with, and realistically, I've only ever been on 2 dates, which was in like 2023, or which was in like 2024. The only ever times that I really ever understood what I was doing was because me in particular, I was too obsessed with the fact that I knew that I was a good guy. I hear all these problems when it comes to dating. I hear all these issues that either female friends that I have tell me about, just girls that I know tell me about, or even female coworkers around my age that I hear discuss about. All the issues and the back and forth we've heard between men and women. Not only have I understood all these, but I've heard it for so long that I would say subconsciously, in a way, I've always tried to prove that there are good guys out there by trying to not only be that example of a good guy, but also trying to quote unquote be a Captain Save a Hoe, in the terms of a lot of the girls that I liked, not only did they experience bad relationships, but they also had a negative mindset about men. So me displaying nice guy behavior and gentleman behavior, going out of my way to do things for them, be nice to them, and or care for them. Not saying that that's a bad thing, but doing those things in the hopes that a girl will like you is a bad thing, because I took a lot of psychology classes in college because I wanted to be a doctor, and the specific doctor was a psychiatrist. So I took psychology classes in order to being a psychiatrist. But the psychology classes allowed me to understand not only life, human interaction, human behavior, human thought processes, but how to survive in the work environment, which is why I've been able to move up and also work with people of different ages for so long. It showed me that the way a lot of girls, both my age and younger, think isn't the same way our moms and grandmas thought about our dads and grandpas. A lot of girls want to have a I can have my cake and eat it too mindset, and that's not to a certain extent a bad thing, but what I mean by that is no girl really wants to be told what to do or have to be told the type of man she wants to date. A lot of girls like to pick and choose the type of guys that they like, and as we've seen, girls to a certain extent pick whoever, but that's human nature. We pick who we like based on how we feel about them. So not all the time can we blame them, but at the same time, what I'm trying to say is you can't do nice guy behavior thinking that that's what girls need and that's what is going to make a girl like you, because to a certain extent, girls aren't dumb. And by dumb, I mean it's not like they don't understand what good behavior from a man is. The problem is no girl wants to date a guy just because he's a good man, and no girl wants to feel like she should date a man just because he's a good man. Meaning, if a guy buys her flowers, opens the door, cares for her, is a gentleman, no girl wants to be like, oh, I should date this man just because he does all these things for me. That's not why. They want to, for example, have genuine feelings and actually like him, and then all those things that he does, which are gentleman and or nice guy behavior, be a bonus. But it works because she likes him. So to a certain extent, and I actually made a TikTok about this, you can go on my Instagram and watch it. The main key is attraction. So for me in particular, to tie it all back, the main issue that I had in 2025, and at least since the age of 15, was that I was going after women and going after girls who were not attracted to me. And attraction level can be at a 0% level or 100% level. So let's say the attraction level that I had for all the girls that I liked was at least a 75 and or above level. So, and that is meaning I like them very much, obviously. But majority of the girls who I liked only liked me back at a attraction level of maybe 0, meaning they didn't like me back at all, or 10 to 20%, meaning very little. So I was liking girls way more than they liked me, which caused me to basically overcompensate for that by doing nice guy behavior, going out of my way for them, and trying to impress them by doing these gentleman acts because I thought that is what they needed. I thought that's what would make them like me, and I thought that's what's going to make me look better in their eyes, especially as a guy who's 26, as a restaurant manager, is competent, goes to the gym, works on himself, and is smart. I thought doing all those things would eventually not only get me the girl that I liked, but also increase my chances with women in general. But at the same time, that's not how it works, especially in the year 2026 or even in the year 2025, 2024, 2023. A girl needs to have a certain level of attraction towards you, and if that level of attraction isn't just as high as you like her or even higher than you like her, the odds of you being with that girl are almost zero, because you don't want to have to, as a man, force a girl to like you. That's the one thing you never want to have to do, and that's something I had to learn the hard way. Never do you ever, as a man, have to go out of your way to do things for anybody to make them feel some way about you. You don't want to, and you can't control anybody's emotions. So you always need to gravitate towards the girls that actually like you. Like you've heard all the older gentlemen on the internet say, like you've heard your friends say, like you've heard all your bros say, go after who likes you. Don't chase and don't try to present yourself in a certain light for anybody, especially if they don't already like you, because that's chasing. That is the purest form of chasing. And in the year 2026, we don't want to chase women. We want to chase money, which is why in my previous videos, like I've told you, you've seen me just focusing on getting back to that income level I was at before I got fired at the restaurant, and also just focusing on doing the things that are going to get me where I want to be, such as creating my content, focusing on my trading, and just understanding where I need to be and where I want to go. Because I 100% made a lot of mistakes in the year 2025, but the two biggest mistakes I made was not only chasing women who weren't attracted to me, and that caused me to lose various jobs in various situations, but it also showed me that if I don't focus on myself more than I'm focused on somebody else, I won't even come close to the goals that I have for myself, because I'm putting effort into somebody who isn't going to yield me a bigger reward than I would if I put in that same effort to myself. And that's one reason why I've not only pivoted but been able to take a step back from searching for girls, chasing women, and being obsessed with a relationship. I finally said it out loud to myself and understood that the reason why I've been so unsuccessful in relationships is because I've constantly been going after girls who didn't like me. And that is quite literally the definition of insanity. Doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result, when I was doing the same thing for quite literally a decade, getting the same result every single time, and to a certain extent thinking something was wrong with me. But there's nothing wrong with me. It's just the actions that I was doing and also the people I was going after. So now that I've been able to understand that, I've been able to take a step back and put all the effort, all the love, and all the want that I've been putting into getting a girlfriend and chasing after certain girls into myself. And how am I doing that? By getting on the camera, creating my YouTube, not only studying my trading, but also focusing all my effort into getting myself elevated into a higher income level. And as you guys can see from the previous video, I was successful in that. We are now making $72,000 a year annually. That's before taxes, but that's still a great income to say I'm making at 26 years old. And it's even higher than the income I was making at Hula Hands. So it just goes to show you that not only do you need to self-reflect, especially when you understand what you've gone through and what you don't want to go through in the future, but if you don't take this time to really focus on yourself, whether you're young or old, especially if you're young, for any guy who's in their 20s like me, you want to put yourself in the best position possible. I know a lot of us want to be successful. I know a lot of us want to be providers and very good breadwinners and high earners. But in order to do so, we have to cut out the distractions. Me chasing multiple forms of income instead of building on the forms of income I already have in front of me was not only one of the biggest mistakes I made, but it also set me back so much and didn't allow me to make progress in areas I was supposed to have made progress in. On top of that, it kept me desperate, it kept me constantly broke, and it kept me chasing women in a way that I wasn't supposed to, because as we all know, women love men with money. Not only that, but we've all seen how you'll never lose a woman chasing money, but you will lose money chasing women, because the more you focus on yourself, the more you build yourself up, the more you increase your skill set, the more you increase your finances, the more attractive you look to multiple women. So at the same time, not only should you be working on your finances, but you should be working on your physique and your health, because you want to make yourself the most attractive version of yourself as possible. And to be the most attractive version of yourself, you want to maximize yourself in all areas. In your mental ability, in your financial ability, in your physical capabilities, and in whatever skill sets you have and or wanting to develop. It's very important that as a man you do all these things in tandem, and the earlier you do it, the better. Because there's nobody, and I will continuously say this, there is nobody that's going to get you where you want to be except for you. I've had to realize this not only in the year 2024, but also in the year 2025. I was starting to realize this a little bit in this year 2026, but I took a complete stop and I had to really pause and get rid of any distraction that was in my mind still that came from the year 2025. So now that I'm fully focused, I understand where I want to go, I understand what I need to do. Not only have you seen me locked in, but I've been able to put out more content. I've been able to not be so anxious and or desperate for women and money, but I've also been able to keep more money in my pockets. I've also been able to focus more in the gym. And I've been able to understand what in the year 2026 I really want to do that will get me to where I want to be. And as everybody who's watching this video understands themselves what they want to do in the year 2026, I want you to not only write it down, but I want you to take action upon it every single day. Every single day, I want you to wake up and understand what you are going to do in order to put yourself in the position you want to be. I have 4 individuals that are around my age, but I am technically older than them, who are motivating me so much in order to get to where I want to be. These 4 individuals are in a better position than me, although I doubt they would admit it. But they have shown me the capabilities and the possibilities of what you can do as a young, determined, successful man. And that's exactly why you see me doing all the things that I'm doing, creating this content, not only continuing my trading journey, but also bettering myself in the gym. I will be honest, I have been slacking on the gym for a very long time, but today I plan on going back and restarting my journey, and not only will you see uploads of my progress, but I'll be able to give more in-depth tips, guides, and also food ideas when it comes to eating protein. Because for anybody who's like me, who's skinny and wants to gain more weight, the key for us is to not only consume more protein, but also up our calorie count. So it's not too hard, but you have to make sure you're doing the right things to get the right results. I know I've been rambling a lot, but I've definitely been enjoying just getting on the camera and talking, and also sharing more of my own personal story, where I plan to take myself and my goals. I know a lot of people aren't just sitting around and they're not wanting to do things, but at the same time, it's that overthinking, it's that little bit of laziness that's stopping you from really pushing yourself to get to where you want to be. So I know a lot of us have still things that we're struggling with, whether it's mentally, physically, or financially, but you need to push past those limits. I don't want you to let anybody or anything, especially yourself, to limit you from the potential that you have. Every single person who's watching this video has the potential to change their life, but it's up to you to really make that decision. Just like I've made this decision to not only continuously upload on YouTube, but also correct the mistakes that I made in the year 2025. If you're somebody like me who understands where they want to go, who understands what they want to do, who understands the person that they need to become, make sure you not only click the like button, but you subscribe to this channel so you can get that constant motivation, so you can get that constant reassurance of what you're doing, but so you can also have a good example in your life of somebody who you see doing exactly what you want to do. If you're anything like me, you want results. So I suggest you hit that subscribe button to not only have this video proof, but also you can constantly see the results of hard work, dedication, persistence, and so you can see that now in 2026, I'm not only rebuilding everything, but also documenting my journey, because we all want to see greatness. You that I'm looking at, you have the ability to not only push past every single obstacle, whether it be somebody in your life who's holding you back, you holding yourself back, whether it's how you think, the actions you make, or anything that's currently tightening your grip on your potential. I want you to break past that, because you have every single ability, every single capability, and all the potential to do all the great things that you have hidden inside you. But at the same time, you want those opportunities, you want that success, you need to go after it. Not always are you going to be able to wait for somebody to pick your hand up, lead you there. You have to dust yourself off and lead yourself there, because nobody, and I will always say this, nobody will get you where you want to be except for yourself. So with that being said, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace out.